Do you want to start a YouTube channel? Well, it's not just about thumbnails and algorithms. It's about you. If your videos are boring or a little bit awkward, people will start clicking away. But don't worry, today I've got some great tips that I want to share with you, and these tips will help you how to feel more confident, more engaging, and look more professional in front of a camera. So follow me on the other side.
A foggy morning river scene may be beautiful, but a clear and to-the-point speech is what makes a presentation truly impactful. So let's learn to speak powerfully.
Hello everyone, I'm Mary Jose from Powerful Communication. Today I'm going to give you 5 extra tips on how to look good on camera, even if you're just a beginner as a YouTube creator. The first tip is learn the power of storytelling. You see, facts aren't just the only thing that are important. Telling a story helps people connect emotionally with you and what you're trying to say. Besides, people won't remember facts. They will remember how you made them feel through a story. Instead of just coming out and say, I've got 5 great points on how to become a better YouTuber, start with a story and talk about the struggles that you've had when you first started, and then how you got out or how you solved all your problems. It will make your video more credible because you will be talking from experience. Here's a quick formula. You start by exposing a problem and you talk about all the struggles you went through, and at the end, how did you solve the problem? So you go problem, struggle, and solution. Follow this formula and you'll be able to have a great story. I remember the first few times I created videos, it was pretty boring. I didn't know how to do it, and even though I spent hours preparing, trying to structure a video with an opening, an introduction, a body, and a conclusion, I researched my stories and I thought I had prepared beautiful videos. However, when I would look at my analytics, there weren't many people watching my videos. However, one day I clicked on one great video about this creator who talked about a problem and how he got out of this and what was the turning point that made his videos change or become more popular. For me, that really clicked with me because I realized emotional videos are what sticks. People don't remember facts, they remember how you made them feel. So in my next video, I tried something new. I talked about one day when I was performing in a speech contest. At one point, I had a total memory blank. For maybe 5 or 6 seconds, I didn't know what to talk about. And I explained in the video how I got out of it and even win the speech contest. After that, to my surprise, my videos started performing a little bit better from one time to another. I thought that was pretty encouraging. Point number 2 is knowing how to speak in front of a camera at the right speed. See, speaking too fast, you will lose your audience because it's very stressful trying to follow somebody who speaks too fast. The opposite could also be true. If you speak too slowly, your audience will be waiting for you. It says, well, move on, move it along. What are you trying to say? My very first video, I remember as if it was yesterday because I was not confident. I didn't know how to present myself in front of a camera. I spoke slowly. I tried to pronounce well so that my viewers would understand me, but I sounded awkward, hesitant, like I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And when I watched the playback, I sounded awful. Even one viewer commented on my speech speed and my pronunciation. However, at that point, that was the best I could do. But here's a trick. You start practicing with a camera with a timer. At first, you don't need to create a whole video. You can talk for 1 or 2 minutes. You can try doing a before and after sequence. So you speak without the timer, and then speak with a timer to see the difference. And when you, for example, if the first video that you made, you took maybe 60 seconds to say it, to record it, try and do it within 50 seconds. Of course, you always want to sound natural, but try and speak a little faster in a natural way. Tip number 3 is knowing how to structure your video like a pro. Great YouTubers don't just improvise. They have a strategy. They prepare very well. But it doesn't mean that they write a whole script. They probably use, most of them, bullet points. Here's the formula. First, have a hook. Try to grab your audience attention within the first 5 seconds. Quickly introduce what you're going to talk about in your video. Then add value. Deliver the main content concisely. See, don't beat around the bush. Don't start by introducing yourself and talk for about 1 minute or 2 before you get into the topic, that you will lose your listeners. So just go right away. Don't waste any time. And then CTA, call to action. What is it that you want your audience to do after your video? For example, you may ask them to like, share, and subscribe to your video. And most of the great creators, you've probably seen them, they always have wonderful hooks, and they grab your attention from the very beginning of their videos to the end. And this is what we want to do. Point number 4 is the power of eye contact. I know I talked about this in my previous videos, but that is in front of a live audience. The same goes with a camera. You need to know where to look, which is directly into the lens. I remember the first few times I used my smartphone, I didn't know where the lens was. I thought that looking at myself, just like here, I'm looking at myself, it seems to me like I'm looking directly at my audience. But then when I watched the replay, I noticed that I was looking away from the camera. And that's when it dawned on me, that little green spot, that's the lens. The last tip, and tip number 5, is the pattern interrupts trick. A trick to keep viewers engaged. See, attention spans are pretty short. And if you speak the same way for a very long time, people might get bored and want to click away. The solution is to use pattern interrupts. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, here's a few examples of what pattern interrupts are. The first one is change your camera angle. The second point is you can use humor or specific anecdotes. And the third one is using visuals or memes. This is how some veteran creators do to keep their audience engaged. They use fast cuts, pop-up text, and humor. Using different strategies can be a little bit challenging at first. So start by something that is doable to you, like including funny stories, fun visuals, or memes. But always try to challenge something a little bit more difficult from one time to another. So if the changing angles seems a little bit difficult, just experiment. You don't even need to upload the videos right away. However, the more you do this, I would encourage you to keep the recording so that you can look at yourself and compare from the first, second, third, and probably the 10th videos and see how you have improved. That will be very encouraging for you. So don't overthink it. Just start recording. Have fun and build a connection with your viewers. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, share it with your friends and colleagues, and consider subscribing to my channel. Leave a comment in the box below. And if you want to overcome your fears of public speaking, I've got a list of 10 different fears down in the box below. Click on one or all of them and see how they can help you. Oh, and don't forget to click on those 2 videos on how public speaking can help you in your mental health. Until then, I'm looking forward to seeing you in my next video. Goodbye.